Hey there, everyone.
Hello there, fellows on the internet. It's Milo here for the fellowship, together with
Maico for the fellowship.
And today we are doing a rundown of our top 5 favorite OM guitars at the Fellowship of Acoustics. So we selected some of the popular models that we have in the store, some of our personal favorites. We actually went through the store and played a lot of OM guitars because
we tried all of the OMs pretty much that we had in stock.
Yeah, there are a lot of them. So there are some personal favorites in here. And we also decided to pick guitars that are in stock at our store most of the time.
Yeah, because we do sell a lot of vintage guitars, a lot of one-off guitars, and all these guitars that are in this selection are guitars that have been around for quite a while, or guitars that you can order 3-4 years from now as well. So that's the idea here.
Also, to give you a chance, maybe you find a guitar in this top 5 that is really the perfect guitar for you, and then you also have a chance to order it.
Exactly.
So I'll say just wait no longer and start with number 5.
Which is an Eastman guitar.
It is an Eastman guitar. It's the most affordable of the bunch. It's not super affordable. It's one of the top of the line for Eastman. It's the E20 OM. The Eastman OM models are really popular at our store. They are one of the best-selling guitars that we have.
Yeah. And one fact about that is that the best-selling guitar of last year, of past year actually, this year up until now, is an Eastman E1 OM guitar.
That's right.
The most sold guitar is an Eastman OM. So
and that is even more affordable. And this is the like I said, the top of the line. This guitar features a Madagascar rosewood back and sides, a beautiful set, which is quite a luxury tone wood to pick, together with a Adirondack spruce top,
which is also the luxury spruce.
So with all these specs, the Eastman really can hold his own with these 5 other boutique brands that we are going to show.
And I think they do that in general nowadays. They are, in my opinion, one of the most the best value for money. If you would compare it to other brands. So
I do agree. Yeah. Another thing to mention about the Adirondack spruce top, I really enjoy playing a guitar, a OM guitar with an Adirondack spruce top, because the Adirondack is a bit stiffer, has a bit more headroom. I think it's a perfect combination with a smaller body.
An OM style body,
A stiffer Adirondack is a stiffer wood, and that also means that you can create a thinner top.
Okay.
So then you get a little bit more headroom, a little bit more volume as well. All in all, this is just a great OM guitar.
Yeah.
And it is a match for every other boutique OM guitar that we have in the store. So shall I play a little bit?
Yeah, final wood detail.
Yeah.
Ebony fingerboard, right?
Ebony fingerboard,
and,
that's right.
A lot of these Eastman guitars have ebony fingerboards, ebony bridge.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's hear it.
Yeah. So that's the E20 OM TC. Oh yeah, didn't mention that. The TC.
Thermo-cured.
Thermo-cured.
Yeah.
So the Adirondack spruce top is thermo-cured. So that's when you bake it in a low oxygen environment, sort of ages the top really quickly.
Yeah, and there are a lot of different ways to do this process, and each manufacturer has their own process and their own name for it.
Yeah.
So this is thermo-cured, but there's also baking of the top and such things, which you will see in these other models as well. But
actually, it's a segue
to our next guitar.
Yeah.
Number 4 is an Atkin guitar. And if you're unfamiliar with Atkin, you should definitely check him out. This is the Atkin Essential OM, built by Alistair Atkin.
And his team.
And his team, of course.
In Canterbury.
Canterbury, England. They've been making guitars since 1995, which is a relatively young company compared to the other guitars that we have in this selection. That being said, they make really high quality instruments, always well built, and what they really do well is the aging of guitars, because this is the natural aged model. So I'm not sure if it's possible to get it under the light, but it's got really beautiful crackling in the finish, and
it's subtle always.
It's always subtle, but done really neatly. And well, there are more better pictures on the site if you want to have a good detailed look at it. Spec-wise, it's got a baked Sitka top. So again, this is one of those processes that a builder uses. In this case, they call it a baked Sitka top.
Basically to make it sound more like a vintage guitar.
Yeah, to make it sound more played in.
Because when you play a guitar for decades, the top loses some of its moisture as well. And that's how it
makes
ages.
it drier.
It makes it drier, and people say it sounds better, and this is what that process does.
Yeah, so it gives you the idea that it's more played in, it's a bit older.
Yeah.
Like I said, Sitka on the top, it's got a mahogany back and a mahogany side, which is interesting because all of the other guitars in this selection actually are rosewood back and side guitars.
When I think of an OM guitar, I automatically think about rosewood back and sides, but of course there are a lot of OM guitars with mahogany as well. That's why we also wanted to include this.
At least one guitar with a mahogany back and sides to show you, to let you hear it. Other than that, ebony fingerboard. It's got a nice piece of ebony with some white streaking in there, which you'll see a lot more nowadays, and we have to thank Taylor for that, but that's a different story. Okay. Anyway, we could have a listen, right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Sure.
Number 4. First impression.
It sounds amazing. The mahogany, it's sort of more mid-range focused, and I like this with the OM as well. I like the rosewood, more boomy bass as well, but this is a little bit more mellow and subtle, and a little bit more intimate. It feels more intimate.
Yeah, I do think it's funny that you say that actually, because well, I'm sitting on the side, not exactly in the front, but the main thing I noticed straight away was the Eastman was a lot boomier in the low end, and honestly I would prefer it to be less boomy, so I would prefer this. It sounds a lot more balanced to my ear, but which of course there's a big price difference between these two guitars. And also check out the other models in the Essential range of Atkin. They also make a D18 style Essential D. They also make an OM with rosewood back and sides, the OM 37 as well. So check out these guitars. All in all, I think it's a great pick, and it deserves to be at the number 4 spot. Yeah, let's go. Next one. On to number 3. This is a Santa Cruz guitar, a Santa Cruz OM Pre War. And we are big suckers for Santa Cruz guitars, actually.
Yeah, so Richard Hoover and his team built incredible instruments. Often lightweight, very, very big sounding. And
very responsive.
Very responsive. This is the OM Pre War is a nod to the original Orchestra Model pre-war, right? So it has a beautiful Indian rosewood back and sides, really nice dark.
Really beautiful
tint.
set.
That looks incredible. We have a Sitka spruce top that has a lot of nice silking on it, which looks very, very
silking
pretty.
is this pattern that you can see in the top of guitars.
I always love the really small dots on the Santa Cruz necks.
It's really a bare bones instrument.
Yeah.
But built with the utmost precision.
Yeah.
Because they are a relatively small guitar company. They stated on their own website that they build 400 guitars a year, which is what, well, a big company does a day.
Yeah.
So that's, just think about that. It really goes to show how much thought goes into these guitars and attention goes into these guitars. So.
If there's a big 5 of boutique guitar builders, then Santa Cruz is definitely
it's in there.
In there, yeah. And this guitar just sounds incredible. It has a little bit older strings on it, but I think sometimes that suits an OM guitar really, really well. So shall I just play a little bit?
Yeah, play a little. Wonderful.
Up until now, I think this sounds closest to what I remember a vintage OM sounding like.
Yeah, it's a bit stiffer.
Yeah.
It's. I think that the strings do help, like you mentioned. It's a bit older strings, but that's nice for this guitar.
Yeah.
The first thing I've noticed actually is that the boominess is back, that I heard in the Eastman as well.
Yeah.
But here it's a lot more controlled. It feels like it's part of the sound of the guitar more. And with the Eastman, I felt like it was going outwards a little bit too much every now and then. Beautiful instrument on its own, but this really sounds well balanced and controlled to me.
It's definitely not harsh at all. So also the high notes sound, they have a sort of a push in the lower frequencies, and that's what I really like on really great acoustic guitars. It's not just shrill high end, but it has some weight to it.
Yeah.
Incredible guitars. We really love Santa Cruz, and we really wanted to feature it.
They had to be in our top 5.
Yeah.
That's
so on the number 3 spot, it's Santa Cruz OM Pre War.
Yeah. We've arrived at number 2.
The runner-up.
The runner-up.
I have it here next to me, and it's the good old Martin OM28. Of course, when we're talking about OM guitars, we cannot leave Martin out of the equation.
Of course not.
And the OM28 is arguably the most famous of them all.
Yeah. Also a really high-selling guitar in this store, OM28. So
definitely. So that we have one in stock is right now it's quite of a miracle, because they are really popular. But we get them in quite often.
Yeah.
Martin produces these a lot.
And they have been for a long time.
Yeah. So they first started the OM model in 1929. That's when they first introduced the 14th fret to the body OM guitars. Up to that, it was mostly 12 fret designs. We had the triple O, the double O, but then the OM was a new invention for Martin guitars, a modern invention. So what we have on this guitar is solid Indian rosewood back and sides, with a Sitka spruce top.
A lot of similar specs between these guitars.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Also ebony.
Ebony fingerboard, ebony bridge as well. This one just sounds really, really good. We have a lot of OM28s, and most of them are great sounding. Just really
you
surprised
just keep
me.
saying that, right?
Yeah.
But it is true. We did not pick these out of the blue. We really, like, again, we played a lot of them, and there's a reason why this one's on number 2. So
yeah, it's really the classic OM that we all think of, and it deserves to be in
look-wise and sound-wise. So
yeah.
Let's hear it.
All right. Sounds great, right?
I was in it, man. I was in the bubble.
Really, really love this OM28. The Martin OM28 Reimagined is our number 2 pick.
Yeah, let us know what you think about it. We've arrived at number 1.
Drum roll.
Yeah, you've been seeing it the entire time, but it's right on this side of me. This is a Collings OM3 in a jet black finish, 42 style model. The reason that we've chosen this is that it's the most decked out instrument of them all, as far as build goes, as far as ornaments on the build goes. So 42 style means there's beautiful inlays all around. Also here on really beautiful. And on the back, we also have, if you could ever see this really up close, then you can see the sick amount of details that went into making the center seam. Really, really well built.
Yep.
Collings if you're unfamiliar, they build high quality instruments right out of Austin, Texas.
Though I doubt you're unfamiliar with them.
I hope you're unfamiliar with them. Yeah, we mention it a lot on this channel. Bill Collings started Collings Guitars in 1973, and he's still, he not personally, excuse me, Bill, but they build beautiful guitars still.
Yeah, we made a video about the story of Collings Guitars. If you want to know more about the story of how Collings came to be
the
and
entire
about
history,
Bill Collings, so watch that on our channel. This is really the best an OM guitar can be right now, I think. And you don't see a jet black finish.
Not often. Cool. It is cool. I think it's really cool. We have a guy coming in here a lot of the times who only plays black guitars. Jim, you know it's you. And he's a big fan of anything that's black, and I can't lie, I like it as well. A lot of similarities, again, with all the other models. So it's an East Indian rosewood back and sides with a Sitka spruce top, actually. Ebony fingerboard, ebony bridge. So it's very comparable to all of the other rosewood Sitka, rosewood spruce OMs that we have here. But the finish is completely different. The build is different.
And you get the premium tone woods, really the best that's around. You get all the lovely ornaments on it as well.
Yeah.
It looks incredible.
It looks incredible, and we've played it. It sounds incredible as well. So give it over to Mr. Milo over here. To me, this one has got everything of the other guitars combined or something. Like it has the boomy controlled low end, but it's really balanced from low to high. And it's just bright. It sounds bright, but not too bright.
Yeah.
It's really like a blend of everything in the right way.
That's right. It's open. It's big sounding. It's amazing. What else can I say?
Yeah, formidable guitar. This is, well, like we said again, this is our top one that we could find in this store. Doesn't mean it's the best OM out there, but to our opinion, it is at this point in time.
The best OM guitar is the one that you like the best. So always play the guitar that you're interested in. Form your own opinion while playing a guitar. Then you know if it's the right one for you.
Exactly, because it could be the Eastman, it could be the Martin, and honestly, there are differences between these guitars. You can especially feel it as well. So go out there and try these guitars. But even though we can hear certain difference between all of these guitars, they are subtle. So you could easily be happy with an Eastman instrument for the rest of your life as compared to this Collins as well. So
that's right. Shall I play us out?
Yeah, play us out and let us know what you think. We hope to see you next time. Which one is your favorite? Drop it down here.
Yeah, please.
Take us away.